So we will start. So we're going to start today with nice, easy warm-up, which is going to be our foot torques. So we're going to start with feet by shoulders apart, and we're going to think about hands and the hips itself, and we're just going to rotate our hips. And I want you to really focus on just pushing these back today. So this tends to be one of our staple movements, just to try and get that feet moving. A couple of points to look out for are we're not letting the feet come off the ground when we rotate round. So we're keeping the big toe, the small toe, and the heel in contact with the ground, even though where the weight is distributed will change as we rotate around. Super, super slow, nice and controlled, no momentum, all muscle. And we're trying to think about pushing the knees back. So from the side view, what it should look like is one knee goes back, while the other knee goes forward. And the arms are just rotating with that as well. So we're really just searching to kind of waken up that foot today. So we're going to do this for about 2-3 minutes, just to get that foot moving. Here we go, this coming in. And again, we're just focusing on just explore that range. You might start with a smaller range first of all, and then as the feet start to move, as the knee starts to move, you can get a little bit further around. But again, don't force anything. One knee goes forward while the other knee goes back. The knee that's going back, the shoulder should come back with it as well. And I want you to think about when I go back on one side, the weight's on the heel, and when I go forward on that side, the weight goes onto the big toe itself. So we're just moving from the heel across the foot into the front of the big toe itself. So we've got some nice exercises to work through today. Some nice testing ones for the glutes, the quads, the hamstring, the calf today. So we're going to cover all bases today. 15 seconds, and we're doing that first drill. And what we'll do is, if I demonstrate the drill first of all, and then we can all go through it together. So, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to start our first drill. So, our first drill is going to be our woodpecker today. And probably the closest you can see here. So, we're going to start with our right foot forward. Nothing on the back leg at all, so it's just there as a kickstand only. So all the weight is on the front leg, and the knee should be just slightly bent. So the knee's in front of the ankle itself. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have ourselves here. We're going to hinge forward, so stick our bottoms out. And all we're going to do is we're just going to rotate and then come back out. So woodpecker today, rotate in and then come back out. What that looks like from the side. We're in this position here, we're hinging forward, so our chest is over our knees, over our foot, and we're just going to drop the arm in, and then pull the arm back out. Drop the pelvis in, pull the pelvis back out. We're going to start in 5 seconds. So we'll start with the right foot forward, guys. So the right foot forward, left foot's nice and light. 3, 2, 1, off we go. We're going to hinge, and we're going to drop the hips in, pull back out. So the pelvis, if you put your hands on the pelvis itself, you should feel it just dropping in towards the right knee, then pull it back out from the right knee. In towards the right knee, and back out. In, and back out. Keeping all the way on the front leg, nothing on the back leg, so it can lift up anytime. In, and back out. Good work. In. Super, super slow, nice and controlled. You can even hang out at the bottom here if you wish to for a little bit longer, and then come back out. So just explore movement. There's no right or wrong. Knee stays pointing straight forward, so it's just the hip. We're going to what we call internal rotation at the hip there. So this is like you're going for unblocking tight hips, but also it can feel something that's quite pinchy, so don't force it. It feels like it's a little bit of a pinch at the front of the hip, then just back out there. 3, 2, 1, switch over, left leg, right leg's back, kickstand, hinge forward, ready, off we go, drop that right hip down this time. Right hip drops in towards the left hand knee. Pelvis rotates in, chest rotates with it as well, so the whole upper body is turning about 45 degrees just over that knee itself. Small movements. You can explore hanging out at the bottom here. Stay in that position, stick the bottom out if you can. So don't lose the hinge. The hinge is the most important part. Good, and then come back out. Drop in. And back out. Should be feeling on the outside of the hip there, working hard just to pull that pelvis round. And also, because we're loading up that front foot, we should feel maybe a little bit of quads and calves as we get into the latter stages of the drill. 5, 3, 2, 1. Second set, right leg, left leg back, hinge forward, bring that chest all the way forward, and then off we go. Drop the left hip in towards the right hand knee. Super, super slow, nice and controlled. Don't worry about rushing it. Just check out the principles. The principles are the weight's on the front foot, we're in the hinge position, and the whole body rotates in towards a static front leg. Knee pointing forward the whole time. Excellent work. Looking good, guys. Well done. If the hip gets too pinchy, what we'll get you to do is just hang out in your hinge position there for the time, okay? Adding on the rotation is just an extra element that gets that internal rotation at the hip. Nice for unblocking hips. Good work. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Left leg, second set. Kickstand. Nothing on the back leg. Really get the hinge there. Hands on the hips. Off we go. Drop in, back out. Drop in, back out. Stick the bottom back. That's what you're looking to do. Push the hips back. Rotates. Rotates. An element of balance is required here as well, but it's not a balanced drill. So if you find you're wobbling quite a bit, put a little bit more weight on the back leg, but just enough to keep your balance, but not enough to sit back in the back leg. Leaning forward. You can even put a hand on the hip and feel how full that glute feels when we're doing a rotation there. Stick the bottom out, hinge, 15 seconds. 30. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Last set, guys. Last set. Right leg forward. Hey, working hard. Make it a good one. Right leg forward. Up, over, and on. Really nice hinge here. Hands back on the hips. Dropping our left hip in. Pulling back out. Good. Really press down through that right hand foot into the ground. Thinking about the big toe, the small toe, and the heel being as wide as you can. Good work. Keeping the back long. Don't let the back bend. It's the hips that you stick your bottom out with. Good work. Lower the front leg. Nothing in the back. Drop the hip in. Knee stays dead straight. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and come back out. Last set, left leg, guys. Last set, left leg forward. Right leg back. Hinge forward. So really stick the bottom out. Really stick that hip back out. Really hinge there. Hands on pelvis. Off we go. Dropping that right knee in towards the left knee. Dropping that the right hip in towards the left knee. Arms just go in time with the hip. Both should work at the same speed. Keep the hinge good. whole foot on the ground. Press into the ground, rotates. Stick the bottom back. Keep correcting that bottom if you can. And out the bottom you wish to as well into that internal rotation. And come back out. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and give the legs a little shake out there, guys. We need your chair for the next drill itself, which is going to be our Bulgarian split squat. So the chair is going to be behind us. We're going to pick our leg, right leg forward if you wish, left leg up. Hands are going to be really strong down towards the ground here. And all we're going to do is drop down as far as we can go, and then come back up. Down as far as we can go, then back up. Keeping a full foot on the ground in the front. Down we go, and then back up. Keep a head, chest, everything nice and stacked. We're starting in 5 seconds. So grab a chair or grab something behind you. Right foot forward, left foot on the chair. Ready, and off we go. As low as you can go, drive through the front foot. It's got to come from the ground up. Really get used to pressing through the middle of the foot, just underneath that medial arch. Press and drive. Lovely one. Push and drive up top. Drop them down, press through. Drop them down, press through. Head up tall, chest up tall. Get a good stretch in the back leg while the front leg's doing a lot of the work. Keep the pelvis tucked under as well as we drop down. Not allowing the back to bend. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. We're going to switch over, left foot forward, right foot goes back, and we're straight in. First step, off this side, drop down, and back up. Really press and engage with the floor. Press the fists down towards the ground, then pull them back up from the foot. Good work. All the time. Thinking about depth if we can. Really load that front foot. Lovely work, drive through. 15 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Switch over, right foot down, left leg back, straight in. Think about the principles of this drill. You're going to be pressing through the foot, head up tall, chest up tall. Good work. Right through that foot. Press up. A nice wide tripod on the foot with the big toe, small toe, and heel all pressing the ground as you come back up. For the next few reps, just really focus on that drive from the ground. Integrate with the ground as best as you can. Drive through there. Good work. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Switch over. Left side. Second set. Right leg back. Straight in. Off we go. Try and get as low as you can, as low as you feel comfortable going. Push through the floor to get back up. work. When we get to the top of the movement, really push the hip through as well and tuck under. So the hip goes back into a hinge, and then tuck the hip back under here. So pop one hand on two, in this instance your left glute, and tuck underneath. You should feel that good work the whole time. Hinge to drop down, squeeze to pull under. Hinge to drop down, squeeze to pull under. Lovely work. 5, 3, 2, 1. Switch over. Last set. Right leg. Back and down. Ready. Off we go. So again, right hand on the glutes. Hinge. Tuck under. Hinge. Right under. Lovely work. Hinge. Hinge. Even put jabber, left hand right in front of the pelvis, drop down, pull back through. Really get that hinge with this Bulgarian split squat here. Right, we get that glutes working with the quad. 20 seconds. And 2. 2. Lovely work. 5, 3, 2, 1. Last set, left leg. Straight in. Off we go. 5, 3. Put left hand on glute, right hand at the front, hinge back, and you drop down. Drive through. Under. Push the hip back. Drive through under. Slow, 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 slow. Drive through. Lovely work. Drive, 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 drive. Push through. Halfway there, guys. Halfway there. Drive through. Lovely work. Really finish well at the top of the big tucking there. So stick bottom out. Hinge, 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 hinge. Drive through. Hinge, 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 hinge. Drive through. Lovely. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. If you finish off 1 and relax there. Pop your chairs to the side. We're going to grab our mats next. We're going to your hamstrings next. So hamstrings are going to be next. For this one here, excuse me, it's what we call an isometric contraction, which means that the muscle of the top is going to press against the muscle at the bottom. So when you're in position, you're going to have your left leg over the right leg, but you're going to pull your right leg up. Okay? So your left leg's pressing down, your right leg's pulling up. Okay? Yeah. Left leg over right, and then you pull with the right leg. I'm going to hang it here for 30 seconds on contraction. Okay? Relax. Starting in 5 seconds. So left leg over the top of the right. In 3, 2, 1. Pull with the right, push with the left. Just work to what your capability is. Make the hamstring work. The toes should just be off the ground and no more. We're trying to keep the feet pointing straight down. So rather than rotating the foot out, keep the toe pointing straight down and pull the toes up towards you. And you're really pressing as hard as you can into the left leg just now. It's going to be 30 seconds. We're going to hang it here for head down, so protect the lower back, and switch over right on top of left, and pull with the left. Ready, and pull, 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 pull. Keep the toes tucked under, keep the toes pointing down. Engage hamstring. Good work. Pull. In this position here, good work. So we're just off the ground, no more. We're working where the hamstrings are probably the weakest in the majority of runners at end of hamstring raise, so that really work here, and switch again, switch over, ready, and pull with the right this time, pull with the right, pull with the right, working hard, good job. Do the heel up, really engage. Hamstring should be moving, but you'll feel that muscle start to shake a little bit as it's under tension. Good work, really work, pull, pull, pull. How hard you work, so remember how much you're pushing down from the top leg. 3, 2, 1, switch over, second set, pulling up with the left leg this time, pull right into that right leg, so really work until you feel that contraction. Don't let it go into cramp. If it feels like it's going into cramp, that's okay. Just back off a little bit of the resistance, okay? So if you make the hamstring work, but don't work it into its full capacity there. Cramp is quite common with this here, but we don't necessarily want it this time around. So we want to go for as long as we can. Good. Pull, 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 pull. 3, 2, 1, switch over again. Pull with the right. Last set. Last set. Right hand side is pulling up, left hand side is pressing down. Good work. Strong hamstrings. Head down. Upper body nice and relaxed. Hips are down as well. Keep the hips pressing into the mat. Good work. 5, 3, 2, 1. Last one off the left. Ready and pull. Really pull that heel towards the bottom. Really try and drive that heel up towards the bottom. And use your right leg to stop it from going up. Good. Pull, 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 pull. Toes tucked under, pull heel up. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, and relax there. Good job. Second set. We're going to lift the leg up higher. Okay, so we're at 90 degrees now. We're going to be pushing up with the right leg, down with the left leg. Okay, so ready in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Going up with the right, down with the left. Keep it at 90 degrees if you can. So try not to let it squeeze out to 100 degrees. Keep it 90. Really pull the heel up. Press down with the left. It'll shake like mad. That's okay. Really work. Work to your intensity. Good job. 5, 3, 2, 1. Switch round. First set off the left hand leg. Ready. And pull with the left heel. Pull with the left heel. Push with the right foot. Push with the right foot. Really work hard here. Keep the hips down. Relax the lower back. So press the pelvis into the ground. Make that hamstring work. Keep it 90 degrees if you can. So we're working that concentric position now, which is the muscle shortened position. It's really important for the knee drive with running. So we get that concentric contraction. And switch over. Second set. Ready and pull with the right this time. Pull with the right. Push with the left. The eccentric was the one we did before, which is at full length, which is important for initial contact with the ground when we're running. It helps absorb some of the load, also helps with downhill braking. And this one here is pulling that knee forward to get your drive phase. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Switch over. Left one's doing the work now. Ready? Off we go. Pull, pull, pull to the left. Really get the hamstrings singing. Use your camera to let you know if you're at 90 degrees or not. If you can see yourself. If you find yourself sneaking down here, it's not a terrible thing, but just try and keep it at 90 degrees just now. Good work. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Really work hard. In 5, 3, 2, 1. Last set. Switch them around again. Ready? Off we go. Pull, 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 pull. Really work hard here, working well, doing really well. Pull the heel towards your bottom. Hamstrings are going to feel like we're doing a little bit of work today. Isometric contractions are one of the biggest DOM providers, so you might feel hamstrings just after this. Eccentrics tend to be the worst ones for it, but then the isometrics are next. And switch over, last pull with the left leg. Ready, off we go, pull with the left leg, really engage. Head down, press the pelvis into the mat. Really meet the resistance with the right leg. You pull with the left. 15 seconds. Good work. Pull. 3, 2, 1, and relax there. Good work. The legs a little shake out. The pelvis a little shake out as well. Got one last drill for calves to go. So, excuse me. We're going to find the wall. We're going to be facing towards the wall. So I'm going to do it slide on so you can see what's happening, but you'll be facing towards the wall. We're going to take about a foot distance away from the wall, and we're going to just take our kneecap to touch the wall itself. The back leg is going to be off completely. So shoe glutes on the leg. Hands can be on, short calf. We're coming forward, touching the wall. We're going to hold there. Give 3 by 30 seconds each leg, okay? So we're going to start, measure about a foot away from the wall, take one leg off completely, bend the knee, we're going to come right up onto the tip of the toe to touch the wall itself there, and we're going to hang it there for 30 seconds. We're going to start in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, off we go. Touch the wall with the kneecap, hold it there. Hold it there. Have the hand on the glute. You should feel it working. Hamstrings working as well. We're pressing down through the toe as much as we can as well. We're pitchforking big toe and the small toe to really press into the ground there. Good job. Hold here, hold here, hold here. Press down through the ground. Engage with the ground. 2, 1, and relax. We're on to second side. For me, it's going to be on the right side. It might be your left here. So ready and lift. Off go. Hold. Knee touching the wall. Hands for support. Pitchfork the toes. Good. Feel the glute working, hamstrings engaged as well. You might not necessarily feel them as sore, you might just feel them as full or feel a contraction in them. 3, 2, 1, back to the first leg. Left leg for me, ready, drop down. Now raise up, hold in that position there, hold. Chest up tall, knee touching the wall the whole time. Press. Keep your pelvis square onto, so try not to rotate into it. Keep your hips square to the wall as much as able. 5 seconds. And switch over. Second set, second leg. Ready? Drop down into a half squat. Roll onto the front foot. Push the knee into the wall. Hold in that position there. Chest up tall, head up tall, hand can go on the hip. If you don't feel the hip, just bring it up slightly, but keep the knee touching the wall. Push through the ground, After working the hamstrings, you're put for the whole leg, having a little bit of a Achilles to itself now. 3, 2, 1, last set. Last set of the left hand leg. Ready, squat down, raise up. Hold here, lovely. Feel the contraction, Head up tall, chest up tall. Pitched fork, big toe and small toe, press them into the ground. Hold. Keep that weight forward. 5, 3, 2, 1. Last set. Ready, squat down, roll forward, lift off, pitch fork toes, chest up, head up. Engage with the ground. Working hard, last 10 seconds now. 5, 3, 2, 1, and relax there. Good job, guys. Well done. Let me just pause the recordings. Well done. Really, really nice job. Well done, guys. So, a few of the drills we did today, we focused on the torques to get the foot mobile, first of all. It's really, really important that you just explore that movement to what your body feels like at the time. Sometimes it'll feel quite mobile, sometimes it'll feel quite stuck. So just try and get the smaller joints of the body moving at the foot, going back into full extension at the knee if you can, and pull the hip back as well. So everything works the opposite to the opposite leg, basically. So you're basically pulling back on one side while you're dropping forward on the other. So you're working through that supination and pronation of the foot. We then went on to our woodpecker to really try and get the lateral glute working in a stable position. But the key thing about that is the hinge. The hinge is so important to activate the glute. It just helps to save the lower back. We then went on to our, how can I forget, the Bulgarian split squats, really trying to get that hinge to then work into the quad itself. So we're getting the glute to work with the quad, to work with the calf. You can add in a floating heel to the front of the foot. If you're doing the class again, pop in a floating heel to the front foot just to make it more calf orientated. Excuse me. We're then going to prone hamstrings. Nice exercise. Eccentrically working is when the muscle's lengthening. Concentrically is when the muscle's shortening. So both are really important for running for different stages of the gait cycle. The lengthening part is good for shock absorption in our deceleration when we're running down hills. The shortening part is when we're taking that heel towards our bottom in the recovery phase just before we contact the ground again. We then went on to our short calves again, just to try and load up that soleus. So soleus is a stabilizing muscle. That's why it's really important to pitch fork the big toe and the small toe down rather than rolling from side to side. Really drive them down to the ground and be quite strong. Good, strong foundations to the foot. Any questions, any queries, any concerns? Well done, guys. Really good job. The class will be up by about 10 o'clock this morning. Have a lovely weekend. And remember, it's all on the hinge. Hinge. See you later, guys.
Thanks, James.
Cheerio.
Thank you very
now.
much, James. Cheerio.
Good job.
Bye.